All right, kids, it's Mike with Riding in the Ozarks, and we have Bagger Bader with us and the beautiful Firecracker. And we're just kind of hanging out tonight. We don't have any special guests or anything. I'm going to see if I can get some guests in a couple of weeks for Spring Fling. But we thought we'd just talk about Daytona Bike Week because there's been some news out of there and some of the events that we have coming up and stuff. I have been sick for like 2 weeks. The last time we did a live on the CVORR, I was just getting sick and I'm still coughing, but I'll try and work through this and not kill you everybody with my coughing. My wife is actually letting me sleep in the same bed as her, so I think it's gotten better.
Bonus.
So, one thing I will mention, because we talked about the CVORR, and there were some details I forgot last time when we were there. So for that $110,000 on the CVORR, Steve, you also get tickets to the King of the Baggers races, a custom Arai helmet or somebody that's painted to match the bike, that is like custom fitted for you. If you go to one of these King of the Baggers races and you fly in and you don't have wheels, they'll provide you with a motorcycle for transportation to and from the racetrack and stuff. So the CVORR $110,000 isn't just the bike, but it's the experience, the VIP King of the Baggers kind of experience thing. So I thought before we get started, I should probably mention that. Now that we got everybody, oh, there's Chasing Adventures in the house.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Give us a shout out. We got 13 people in here, so give us a shout out and let us know who's in here and where's at. We're just kind of hanging out tonight, going to talk events and bullshit and drink some cough medicine.
Exactly.
Firecracker should be able to hang tonight. She's not had a whole bottle of wine first.
Ooh. So she's a couple of quarts low. Is that what you're saying?
She's got to get ready for riding season.
That's right.
She got to cut back on the wine because she's going to be in the saddle. Chase says Fireball plus Jaeger. For me, it's not to get into politics, but there's this stupid shit going all over Facebook about Canada pulling American whiskey off the shelves and all this and that. Well, all I got to say is I don't drink Canadian bitch whiskey anyway, so I'll just drink twice as much Kentucky bourbon to support our friends.
God, that made my nipples hard.
All right, so Daytona. None of us went, but I have seen some videos, heard some things, seen some posts. I'm hoping we get some people in the chat here that can tell us if they were there, how was attendance? Because I read something that like attendance was down 20+%. That's what I saw.
Wow.
There's Jay in the house.
Jay Sker.
Our other fine moderator.
You know, I watched a lot of videos on it from a lot of different content creators. And it's hard to tell. You know, most of them hang out there on the main drag. Daytona is kind of unique, it looks like to me. I know Professional Monkeys brought this up a number of times. It's kind of a mixed bag. Usually when you go to a rally, it's predominantly Harley riders. But Daytona seems to bring out
Daytona, yeah.
Yeah,
Daytona's like sport bikes, and I guess I saw in one video they're not allowing slingshots on the strip now, on the like one of the main streets. They're blocked it off for motorcycles only, and they're not allowing slingshots because the story is that back at Oktoberfest, some lady hit like 10 bikes in a slingshot, so they decided no slingshots.
Well, it does look like. Yeah, with all the bikes parked up and down there, it does look tight. I mean, I could see where a slingshot might have trouble getting through there.
Yeah, 10's not trouble getting through there. That's fucked up. Somebody fucked up, take out 10 bikes. So, anybody in the chat at Daytona?
Talk to us.
This year? I guess while we're waiting to see, yeah, what I'm reading online, Daytona Beach News Journal says it was 339,000 people, or 333 people, down from 423,000. The same three areas a year ago. So, and I think they're basing that off of cell phone data. So, unless people can't afford their cell phone or they left it at home, it would imply that attendance is down. Now, I'm just wondering if there's people like me who are going to the 85th Sturgis this year who can't do both. So they pick Sturgis this year over Daytona.
And
Fire,
I'm
not
gonna
going
pick
to one. You can't
I'm
raise
gonna
your
pick
hand.
about every rally over it. No one's really sold me on Daytona. I mean, going to the races would be cool, but other than that, I don't know if there's really a lot there that excites me.
I mean, uh, the the bike. If you're into bike shows, there's a lot of that, right,
Yeah,
Firecracker?
true.
But there was one of those every day somewhere.
Yeah,
So like the chopper show at Willie's was cool. But some of the bikes, like some of the bagger bikes, are in multiple shows. So they'll be in one bike in one show, and you go to another show 3 days later, and the same bike's there.
yeah,
And that's okay. But I mean,
yeah,
they bring them all the way to Daytona. What do you expect?
yeah.
Um, Daniel is in Omaha, Nebraska tonight. I don't know how the weather is in Omaha, but it was close to 80 in the 70s, but a little bit of wind here today.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we should even talk about the wind. It's been rough. So, Steve, how did the weather hit you guys in Kansas City while we let everybody catch up here?
Well, we were just, up until the tornado hit your town. It was really bad here. I mean, it was really, really blowing. I was hearing noises in the house that I've never heard before, creaks and stuff. So it was bad, but minimal damage, thank God. Certainly compared to what you guys got. But
Chase said they had 80 degrees and 80-mile-an-hour wind. Glad that they didn't get. I know some places in Arkansas did get hit. Some towns in southern Missouri took it. Right up close to 70 a day. Blizzard warnings for first light tomorrow morning. Oh, that sucks.
yeah, tomorrow it's supposed to be shitty as hell. God damn.
Yeah, I'm riding motorcycle this week. We borrowed a vehicle because I loaned my truck to my uncle, but I hate to drive somebody else's vehicle, so I'm going to ride the motorcycle as much as humanly possible. But I don't know that I want to ride in a blizzard. But I don't think it's supposed to get bad here till Thursday. I thought.
Tomorrow it's getting colder.
Yeah, Sunday's gonna be my next day to ride.
Well, this morning it was 50 degrees when I left the house, and I wore a hoodie with my heated Harley Davidson jacket liner underneath it, and it was very, very warm in 15 minutes when I got to work.
I'll bet.
Probably, just with the hoodie on to keep the heat from completely escaping in the wind, but definitely, I would say with that jacket on, I could ride in 45-degree and up weather with the hoodie and the heated liner. Firecracker, what you looking at?
Stuff on my desk because my desk is a mess.
Oh,
Hey,
can't look up at the camera at nobody, so I was wondering what she was so.
Oh, my camera's way up there. I gotta look up like this to look into the camera, so I'm looking at my screen.
Hey,
sounds
April,
like you need to have somebody fix your setup.
Yeah, you do.
Hey, April, since you're so hot, I mean, can you like ride in 20-degree weather without a shirt on?
Yeah, right.
I don't know how that works because I'm not hot.
So, some of the other stuff coming out of Daytona, besides attendance being down, Steve, you saw some videos that looked like the popo was being a little tough on people.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if anybody in the chat noticed this. But I follow four or five different creators that like to go down there and videotape Main Street primarily. So a lot of police activity, a lot of bikes being pulled over for one reason or another. It seemed like they were being aggressive. Typically at a rally, they're just trying to keep the peace. They're not really looking to cause a stir. And it seemed like Daytona, with that many videos out there of police pulling bikes over, it makes me wonder if they weren't being a little more aggressive.
Well, I know Monkey's had issues there, and he thinks that Daytona police has not got the right attitude. That they're not so much about maintaining, but it's looking for a reason to write everybody a ticket.
Makes me wonder. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't think it was that bad when we were there compared to the Popo here. I mean, they were letting people we thought get away with quite a bit, but it may be a difference in attitude because of what we're used to here. We don't have, when we have a rally here, we don't have a bunch of sport bikers in the crowd doing rev bombing and hitting 10,000, 12,000 RPM. There's just nobody. In, the worst we got, a guy on his Harley hitting 5,500.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a different demographic down there. That could be part of the problem.
Yeah, well, it's definitely different. That's for sure. And 300,000 people come into town. I mean, I don't know. The big news kind of in my mind, and I don't know what's going to happen. It wasn't actually in Daytona. It was New Smyrna, but we had some gunfire.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
And we've seen what's happened at Arizona Bike Week, Cave Creek, other events, Bike Fest, when there was something like that happened, even at Bike Fest, when something happened before that, just on a bike night, it put a big deal out with, no clubs, no colors, in the businesses, all that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting if they kicked slingshots off of the drag because they hit motorcycles. What will they do about colors in Daytona? Yeah. Are we going to see a rash of no colors?
Wouldn't surprise me. I've said it before on here. I got to think if I'm the president of a 1% club, I mean, I've got to be, telling everybody and their dog that, hey, look, best behavior. This is supposed to be an event for just to have fun and chill, and we don't want to bring on any unwanted heat during that period. I would think would be what they would be pushing.
A lot of people are uncertain about the economy and such, Chase says. Be interested to see what happens for spring events. Well, I guess we'll find out. We didn't travel as much last year, so we're going to make up for some of that this year. We're definitely, we've got Sturgis and Bike Fest and Harley Davidson Homecoming and Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue on the list, and we're going to try and do Born Free Texas. So we're going to do more traveling this year and hit a couple of new events. But, I can get it. Inflation's tough, and, talks of tariffs and prices going up and everything else could be keeping people home.
Yeah.
Jay says it's going to be all 70s down there all week. Jay, we're going to see you in a couple of weeks. It's not really a bike event, but we're going to go to Arkansas in a week and a half, honey.
Yeah, next weekend.
Last weekend of the month. Yep. So we're going to go to Arkansas.
Are they having a charity ride or something?
No, we're not doing motorcycle.
Go to the horse races.
Ooh.
We're going to do some gambling.
Nice.
Yes, because I'm only uncertain about my economy. Well, I hope you hit the trifecta, Jay, and maybe that'll make you a little more certain.
Hey, if you win $110,000, I got an idea where you could spend it.
You do?
Speaking of bikes,
I know Jay pretty well, and I'm thinking he's probably not going to spend it on an RR. Now, I don't mean he won't buy a new bike, but he's probably not going to spend it on an RR. He's probably going to some of that back and buy something else and put a bunch of it back. Maybe
You gotta buy an
find
RK
property
Road
or
King.
Road King RR that they haven't announced yet.
April, you got something new going on with your bike, don't you? You gonna share it with
Yep.
the peoples?
Sure. I got a Lowrider ST fairing in the mail, and it's off being painted right now.
And how excited are you?
And then my lovely husband went and ordered me the speaker system for it already.
Nice.
So
Hey,
yeah, her fine specimen of a husband went and paid over the phone for the audio system for her ST, and because they have one in stock, so that a friend is going to and arrange for a friend to pick it up because I can't get to the dealership in the next couple of weeks except on a Monday, and they're closed on Mondays. So I've arranged a pickup by a friend who I'm going to see next Monday, who will hand it off to me. So
nice.
Jay says, looks like I'm going to have to build a proper 2025 Road King. Ray, Jay, I think that would be an excellent video series. Harley won't build it, so I will.
There you go.
Are you going to start with the police edition? So yeah, the painter, we saw him
Sunday
last week at dinner,
Sunday.
and well, yeah, it was, and then we saw him Sunday and dropped it off. We told him last week we had it, and saw him at dinner last Wednesday, and then last Sunday we got it to him, and it was kind of like, how long you think for turnaround? And he's like, I might have it done by Thursday.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he loves me. He loves me.
He must.
Yeah, you got it. That the painter deal is your deal. I'm broke now. I just spent all my honeydew money on my honey. So he's going to do a road glide and chop it down to a Road King. Where are you going to put the 12.3 inch TFT display? You going to mount it right there on the handlebars and make you a little gauge bracket?
I don't know. I guess that's where my husband's going to have to figure out where I got to put that.
No, I meant JS. He said he's going to make a road glide and chop it down to a Road King. No, I know where your audio's going. I gotta drop off. Says I'm not. You gotta just take the whole display off and sell that to some guy with one that's locked up.
April, are you have any graphics painted on it like your other one?
No, because that was a lot of back and forth. I'm just gonna probably make my own sticker, like I've been making for cars, and put it on the windshield for now.
I like that. I like that idea.
Until I can afford next to buy me a purple Clockworks windshield.
So Jay says he's going to take the 12-inch TFT out and do a lowrider ST gauge. Now, what generation lowrider ST gauge? The new 2025 round one, or a 2024 small digital one that just mounts to the bar? Yeah, so she's got to get. I don't have a Clockworks windshield for her. She's got to have to wait on that. We got to have to pump out some videos and trying to see what we can do about that. But I have all the money I had set back for bike parts is like she's ate it up in the last week. She's got a tuner coming on Saturday, and we're putting her air cleaner on and getting a bass tune put on. The dyno's still down, so he's going to do a bass tune, but that's probably going to cost a little bit. Even though we've paid for the tune, we haven't paid for his time, so we'll owe him for his time to put a bass tune on her bike, and she'll get her air cleaner on by this week. And then I had to order the headlight for the ST fairing and the audio. And so, and the next weekend we're gone to Arkansas. So I'd say by the middle of April, this thing should be put together and ready to go.
By the way, did you order those screws?
No, I did not. I'll call tomorrow and see if he's got one in stock. You text me and remind me. She keeps losing her screws. She's got a screw loose.
I
She's the
do.
only woman out there that's got a screw loose.
I don't know if I would say only, but Jay wants to use the 2025 gauge to see if he can make ride modes work still. Jay said, "Why pay for a Road Glide and make it a Road King?" Because I remember they're the same price, except for the Road Glide comes with a 117. And I don't know why he doesn't do a Street Glide instead of a Road King if he's taking the fairing off and shit anyway. Because the Street Glide's $250 cheaper.
True.
Just saying.
Thought.
Otherwise, they're pretty much identical.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got fairing to be painted. Had to order crash bar mounts and a headlight for the fairing and the audio, and Papa's broke. She's going to have to pay for the paint, and but she is going to have a Sport Glide ST.
Well, I'm excited for you because that's going to be a big plus, I think.
Well, I mean, we're talking about it'll be. I think we'll have it all ready to go in less than a month. So that means somebody's going to be able to ride it to Spring Fling.
Right on.
So, I don't. Maybe I'll talk about Spring Fling and some of the stuff that's going on there this year. I have not got to see the video yet. Have you seen Bob and Tam's video about the bike giveaway?
Yeah.
That's something they're doing at Spring Fling, right?
Yeah, not a lot to share. They're they've joined the rest of the ranks that like to do these giveaways. But they did mention the cat house and the campground east of town.
And I'm guessing they're giving away a used bike.
It is. It's a. It looks like a Fat Boy or something. Kind of a weird looking bike. Nice though. Kind of a custom. Whoever owned it, that kind of custom built it.
Yeah, and they're going to give that to a person in the military. At Ozark Thunder Camp or something there at Spring Fling or at the Cat House or somewhere.
Yep.
Jay says the triple tree cover and handlebar setup on the Road Glide will work better. Well, yeah, that's probably true. The triple tree handlebar, the lock for the ignition, all that's probably more similar to the Road King with the Road Glide.
That's true.
On those models, and he won't have to buy bars right off the bat because they won't be 8-inch bars. You'll have 27 degrees of adjustability. So, what all else is going on at Spring Fling? Firecracker, you got anything going on Friday?
Your meet and greet.
My ride.
Oh yeah. You do the schedule, not me. I just go where you tell me I'm going.
Don't believe for a minute that she does what I tell her. So, Friday, we're going to be doing a ride out of Pig Trail Harley Davidson to Eureka Springs Harley Davidson to raise money for a charity called Grandma's House. It's a children's advocacy center. So we're going to be doing that on the Friday. And then on Friday night, we'll do a meet and greet at the Cat House. And then on Saturday, there is a bike show at the Switchback Bar. There will be events and stuff, I'm sure, going on at the campground. We're going to go out and check that out. And, of course, the Cat House is always a good time at Switchback Bar. Maybe do some riding. Jay said he signed up for the ride, so he's going to be there with us on Friday as well. I don't know if Chase is coming on the ride on Friday. He hasn't said anything about it. But
Yeah, I think I'm gonna sign up from the bike show. I like what they did. It's only for a couple hours, so it doesn't take up the whole day. So I might put Gigi in there.
sweet.
Yeah,
Hey,
Jay
Steve,
wants
it's
to
your
know.
AAA.
Yeah, they want to know if your AAA is paid up in case we
it
need
is paid up. Yep, I'm ready.
it. You going to explain that story, Firecracker? Why that's important?
Yeah, because last year my bike broke down and we had to have it hauled. So Steve got AAA to come pick it up for me and haul it to the Harley dealer.
Yep, I've got the RV
Jay,
Plus that covers motorcycles.
Chase says I have some obligations up in the air. LOL. All right. Well, hopefully we'll see you. I know we'll see you sometime that weekend if we don't see you Friday.
Yeah.
Jay did a video on it. I did get a notice that Jay did a video.
He did a video on my bike, didn't he?
Oh, I think okay on the Sport
When it
Glide
broke
breaking
down.
down.
Yeah.
Yep. For sure, we're booked 100 yards from the cat house. We will definitely see you then. Steve, speaking of YouTube channels and videos, how's your little adventure on YouTube going?
I've got 160 of the smartest sons of bitches alive, growing like a weed, putting up amazing content, tons of
GG
editing.
2.0 unveil.
Yeah.
When I
What
search
else
for
do we have?
Baggerbaiter, that's what I get.
Oh, really? Yep. Yeah, I'm still just kind of doing the same thing.
Is that me dropping out or?
Oh yeah, you froze. Michael.
You're froze.
Michael froze.
Am I back?
You're
Now you are.
You're
sure.
Now you are.
There
we
you
go.
are.
I got a little delay, but we got some Wi-Fi issues. I just want everybody to know that they have got fiber optic up to the edge of the house, and we're waiting on them to call to schedule the install inside the house, and that should resolve some of these internet issues we've had to put up with for the last year. But fiber optic is literally mounted on the side of the house as of Sunday.
Cool.
I threw a link out there for Bagger Baiter for anybody out of the 16 people watching who probably, if they haven't subscribed. But Speed's only got 16 people tonight. That's probably all usuals, and they're probably already subscribed to you because they're all wonderful people.
Yeah. Yeah, I just kind of chronicle my riding is really kind of what it is. And then when I go to a rally, I try to put up a little bit of content on what's going on. Limit them to a minute or two so nobody gets bored. And I can't carry on conversations like you and some of the other big dogs out there.
Look at this fucking guy chiming in here out of nowhere. Thought you was an IT guy. The IT guy rebooted the internet and everything else before we started. But
like 10 minutes before we started.
Yeah, but when you're working off of a T-Mobile cellular connection, sometimes it's just only so much you can do. It's pretty windy here again tonight, so I don't know if that's messing with it or not. But how's Mr. Jerry doing?
There's some towers that got knocked down in Rolla too from the tornado.
Yeah, this whole area's got some rebuilding to do. Your wife likes you because of your personality? So Spring Fling, Ozark Thunder Campgrounds, bikini contest at Cat House, bike shows, my ride on Friday. Not to be dissing nobody, Adam Sandoval has a ride on Saturday. That's why my ride is on Friday. They already had that booked with him on Saturday. So Terry says, if weather cooperates, I'll come down from Minnesota for Spring Fling. met you all at the 2024 Spring Fling. Well, Terry, thank you, and we'd love to see you again.
Yeah, come
Terry
on down.
says he's doing well. I'm pretty excited for Spring Fling. I mean, the last week is the last 2 weeks has been pretty good on the weather. Since March 1st, other than the tornado, it's been pretty righteous. So I've been able to ride quite a bit, riding to work in the mornings and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm excited for Spring Fling. This will be the first time I've trailered down, and I'm bringing my Harley Davidson Slim Softail, and so I think it'll be fun to take it out on some of those curves down there. So I'm looking forward to it.
We got to say congratulations here. Check this out.
I've seen that.
Skids just bought him a 24 Street Glide in Blue Burst. Came with stage 1, 12-inch bars, heated grips, CVO ST crash protection, and he's in love.
Yes,
I can see why. I mean, I get it. Every time I get on mine and ride it, I'm like, God damn, this thing's faster than my 16. Just and I don't know that it's not top end faster, but boy, it sure gets there in a hurry.
Yeah.
What kind of exhaust you got on that, Skids? Tell me if it's. I got a stage 1 on it. I'm assuming somebody's already changed the exhaust on it. So that's kind of what's up with Spring Fling. What do you got coming up in events here, Steve? After that, you got something coming up?
Yeah, so I have Arizona Bike Week. Me and a buddy are going to trailer down for that as well. But so my Slim is what they like to call the style the Dirty Tail, and the kind of the creator of it's John Shope, who owned Dirty Bird Concepts in Arizona, and so I'm anxious to take it down there. There's quite a few of them running around because of that. And in fact, they have if you go to their website or Facebook page, they've got a special ride. I think it's on Thursday morning, where they're going to ride from their shop up to Cave Creek to the Roadhouse, which is where they like to all hang out. So I signed up for that, and so I'm looking forward to that, and just having fun with everybody at Arizona Bike Week.
Cruisy's got a big stunt show and a bunch of stuff going on at Bike Week this year.
Yeah, I don't know how detailed you want me to get about. So Arizona Bike Week kind of has a bad rap. The actual event itself is in a fairground type area called Westworld. It's not real great, and they charge to get in. They take a lot of heat for that. The vendors are mediocre at best. They do have some concerts in an enclosed pavilion in the evenings. But Cruzy is kind of creating his own event, which is a little further south in Chandler, Arizona, kind of on the south end of town. They've got all kinds of drag racing, motorcycle racing type stuff. And then plus he'll be doing his, crazy stunts. And it looks like they'll have vendors there too. So I would probably, based on what I've seen at the other event, I would probably recommend people going to the Cruzy event if you're into that sort of thing. But really what I do is we go to Cave Creek. There's a couple of bars up there. One's called the Hideaway. The other one's called the Roadhouse. And then there's a number of others up along the road there. That's really where all the fun and excitement is, in my opinion. And then we also look forward to riding up in the mountains, 89A. And, there's a number of great mountain roads up and through there, and Sedona and that sort of thing. So that's what we do.
Right on. So Skid says that he's the first owner, so it's a brand new 24. And the dealership did the stage 1. They did the wedge air cleaner, which is what I'm running. He's got Reinhardt's with the Screaming Eagle stage 1 tune. I'm running the Screaming Eagle Pro Street tuner. Mine's auto-tuned with the stage 1 right now with the tabs on it. Only difference. But Yeah. What kind of bars did you go with? Did they put on there for you? KST, LA Chopper, Harley, something else? We want to know all about it, man. Um, so I guess what is the dates on Arizona Bike Week? Is that end of May?
Yeah, I was going to share that with you. So, Arizona Bike Week, what happened to my thing here? It's April, basically, it's like April 2nd through the 7th.
Oh, so that's before Spring Fling. So you're gonna get
Yeah.
that whipped out.
So I'm going to hit that first, and then I'm hitting Spring Fling right after that.
Right on. Well, we're so Arizona Bike Week. We'll see you at Spring Fling. Now, I doubt you're going. I don't know. I mean, it's across the state for you, but we're gonna hit Grafton Bike Week. Now, are we going up on Saturday morning or Friday night, honey? You made the
We
travel
hadn't
arrangements
just.
there.
No, I haven't. You never decided if we're staying, so we have no motel. So I told you that was up to you. So
Okay.
don't bring it on me.
I thought you was talking to relatives about staying or just meeting us there.
No, she's gonna meet us there
And where's this?
Saturday.
Grafton, Illinois,
Grafton.
which is on the Illinois side of St. Louis. Alton,
Okay.
Great River Road, up through there.
Okay.
There's a new event called the Grafton Bike Week.
Hmm.
We're not going till Friday night or Saturday morning, depending on what we decide to do. But it's they're doing a lot of promotion, getting a lot of sponsors involved and stuff. So hopefully it turns out good. I think the Hog Pit is like the main promoter of this and stuff, but there's river road riding up through there and ferries and stuff and several river bars and things like that. So it should be a good time one way or the other.
It's
I
the
used to
same
ride.
weekend as the TMMR.
I used to ride down in Arkansas with a guy we called St. Louis, and he was always inviting us over to go ride up along the Mississippi River. And he had a lot of bars and cool roads to ride by. So I'm sure you'll have a great time.
So Skids has got 12s from KST. He's 5'11", so he's a couple inches taller than me. So that's probably a good choice. I did 10s. The seating position, love the reach. Just trying to decide on a seat. Have a Saddleman Explorer on the Street Bob and love it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for a summer seat. I've got a Sundowner heated seat, and it's a great touring seat. I mean, if I'm going to go to Sturgis and do 700-800 miles or 1,000 miles in a day, I'm probably going to throw that on. But I don't know that I want that seat all the time because it does raise me up a little bit. So I'm thinking I'm going to have a summer seat and a winter/touring seat. If I'm not doing, if I get a good seat, I can probably still do 500 miles in a day on a regular seat without needing to put the Sundowner on. But I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do. With the 24s and up, we have a little less choices on seats. Saddleman, Mustang both have something.
Yeah.
When he quits spending his money on his wife.
Oh yeah, inner fairing's now on hold. Oil cooler covers now on hold. Seats now on hold. Yeah, so all my upgrades just went on hold, and and the problem is, since we're doing her bike, we're going to have to do sooner or later. We're going to have to do custom dynamics vent lights for that ST fairing, and then she'll have all LED up front, and then we got to fix that goddamn tail light setup on her bike because it's not very clean. And after seeing the new soft tails, I would love for her to have the same kind of setup, but she has a shorter fender than the Lowrider S or Lowrider ST or any of them. So I don't know what I'm going to do for lights on it. The Sport Glide was different than everything else. So.
Well, I have a birthday coming in May.
Not anymore, you don't. I have a birthday coming in May now. Shit, I'm not even sure you got Christmas coming. So Grafton Bike Week, we got that coming, and then probably after that, Hog Rally in June.
We have a lot on our calendar, but some of it's family related stuff.
Yeah.
June,
excuse me.
Oh, go ahead. I was just going to share that in June 7th, Saturday, June 7th, I've got the big ass poker run again. This will be out in Hayes, Kansas for my buddy Kent Gutchuck puts this on. We had it in Kansas City for a couple of years. It went over okay, but it seems to do better out there in Western Kansas. And I've got a number of friends that I think are wanting to run out there from Kansas City for it. So it'll be a good time.
So, Jay, what are you talking about lowers? She's got a new fairing. She's not getting the lower. She's getting just the ST fairing, not the lower body fairings that Advan makes. We didn't go there. She didn't even know they existed before you opened your mouth. Hey, Hoghead, thank you. Yeah, we're glad that we're all good too. We're glad that it turns out they just announced the other day that there is one fatality related to the tornado. They weren't killed by the storm, but somebody was running a generator inside their home after the tornado, and they and their pet deceased from running a generator.
So it was a gas powered?
I'm assuming it's gas powered and didn't have it vented correctly, or didn't put it on the porch and run the extension cord in, or something like that. Yeah, don't act all innocent, Jay. What, me? Chase has got a bed set up with a switchback this year. Makes life a lot easier. That means if we're at the switchback and we get tired and we want to take a nap, we know where to go crash.
True.
Not like we nap much, but if it gets real hot, I could take an afternoon nappy.
Sure.
Last year at BBB, it was pretty hot one afternoon, and everybody was kind of like taking a break and looking for some AC.
Yeah.
Chase says he's got cooties. Chase, we'll see who's got the worst cooties. Promise you. The older you get, the worse your cooties are. So I'm not scared.
Hey, can I tell a bed bug story that I told the other day?
As long as it doesn't have to do with rubbing your nuts on anybody's pillows.
No, close though. So we're running down a crew that I ride with here in Kansas City. We went down to Adam Sandoval's campground in Warriors, Oklahoma, a couple years back. And on the way there, we stopped in Miami, Oklahoma to spend the night. And of course, I'm always notorious for finding the crappiest hotel, try to save a buck or two. And we called it the Porn Star Inn. They've torn it down since then. But anyway, a friend of mine and his girlfriend were in a room and they were all pissed. And we're like, what's wrong? And they're like, we had bed bugs in our bed. And he had one on his finger. So he goes into the office and he says, hey, we want another room. We got bed bugs. And the manager there goes, that's not a bed bug. And he goes, well, it's a bug. And it was in our bed. I guess you got to know this dude. He's got like a southern drawl when he talks. Absolutely hilarious. Well, it's a bug. And it was in our bed. Needless to say, they got a different room.
Yeah. So Chase thinks you've got the most cooties of all of us.
Yeah. I usually win that.
Own that.
I usually win that contest.
So Steve's taking the Dirty Tail to Arizona Bike Week and to Spring Fling.
Yep. And to Sturgis.
Are you showing it or just hauling it up to have it to ride up there?
Yeah.
So have you rode a 24 yet, Steve?
No.
Why not?
I haven't found anybody dumb enough to let me ride it.
Demo days, baby. Don't tell me there ain't gonna be no demo days in Kansas City. Hey,
Yeah,
Bri, the biker stopped in to say hey.
nice. Yeah,
I
we
think you
actually
should go ride. I think you should go ride a 2024 that or newer 2025 Road Glide.
right.
I think you should just go ride one and
Yeah.
see how you feel about it and compare it to yours.
One of our local dealerships here in Kansas City just announced on Facebook they're having a demo ride here coming up soon. So, yeah, I'll have to get up there and check it out, see how the power is compared to mine.
I think you should ride one and you should put a little video out and give us your initial reaction. Like do one before you ride. Say, hey, I'm gonna go do on this ride and I'll be back shortly and I'll tell you what I think and then we'll see what your reaction is. I think,
All right.
and the only reason I say that is because I want you to be a broke fucker like the rest of us with another bike in the garage.
Right on.
Yo, we like Skid said he just bought a 24. I've had people who I've chatted with in the comments who have sent me emails and then we'll talk about stuff. I had somebody the other day say, hey, I just bought a Fat Boy because of your video on the Fat Boy and I love the looks of it and all the new features and I got mine ordered, and stuff. But like, you know, these bikes will sell themselves if we can just get people's asses in the seats pretty much. I mean, obviously the economy is and being able to afford them is an issue for anybody and everybody. But if you ride one and you can afford one, it's going to be tough to say no.
I've heard a lot of guys bitch about trying to figure out how to buy one. But after they buy one, I never hear them bitch again about having to pay for it. So what does that tell you?
Yeah. Every time you get on one, you forget about the payment.
Yeah,
That's
and all
it.
the fun
So,
you're having.
Skid says the 2025 Iron Horse looks amazing, maybe the color of the year, although the Lowrider ST and Blue Burst with chrome looks good. I got to ride all the Softails, and so I pretty much saw all the colors and stuff. They had some variation of all of them there. I do like the Iron Horse Metallic. It's probably not the color for me of the year, but the Blue Burst with chrome on the Lowrider ST is really getting a lot of attention. There have been people who aren't into the blacked out look. They've been waiting for chrome, and with that Blue Burst, that combination has been hot. A lot of people were talking about everybody when we do those press events, they'll do what they call rollers or tracking videos where you'll ride next to somebody else who has a cameraman on the bike and they'll film you. And everybody was lined up to do their tracking video on the blue Lowrider ST with chrome, including myself. That's the one I want to do the tracking on.
That's the one that's got that pretty cool emblem on it too, doesn't it? Like a silver, or am I smoking crack?
It has the what?
Seems like doesn't the Blue Burst have like a painted on silvery looking Harley Davidson logo on the tank?
I believe the Blue Burst has kind of like a single wing coming back from the emblem. A lot of
Yeah,
people Indian fans want to say that it looks like an Indian logo, but I don't agree
yeah,
myself.
yeah. I thought that looked
Uh,
badass.
Bry's afraid to try one of the new ones because he doesn't want to spend the money. Hoghead said, "Bike payment. Shit, I just had to get a new truck. I wish the payments were a bike." See, Skid says, coming from a soft tail, the part to get used to is that kickstand. Scared me the first time I parked on it and stuck it out with my bike and wanted to go forward. You'll get used to that pretty quick. I mean, that jiffy stand on the biggest thing I can tell you is what I would do is if you're not on even ground, is park it in gear, let the clutch out, let the bike roll so that the gear takes up the slack, and then
Yeah,
lean it over on the kickstand. And just because then it won't move as much and you won't have that gut like, oh shit, where's it going? But it's not
right.
going to come off of it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not, but I get it. A lot of people are, especially with the touring bikes, if you're not used to that stand, are like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah. It'll
my
freak you
16
out.
was the same way. I think my goddamn 1990 was the same way. Chase digs the red with the Ghost Eagles. Um, like I've heard my whole life, just buy the darn bike.
Yeah. Just got to do it.
The Poisonberry for CVO, I find that like hard to compare to everything else because those are special colors that like you can only get on the CVO, can't get on anything else. If I could pick any one color, it'd probably be the Poisonberry or the Mystic Shift. The Mystic Shift's available on a lot more stuff, um, but the Poisonberry is very, very eye catching when you see it in person. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that the chrome trim really reminds them now more of a throwback to the FXR days. Yeah, Bryce says his wife has the same reaction.
Yeah.
Hey, Travis, thanks for tuning in. Glad you enjoyed the channel. Jay says I just flip it down and step off. Yeah, I mean, I don't worry about it anymore, but I mean,
Right.
if it makes you nervous, the thing to do is park it in gear, let it roll to take that slack out of the gear before you put the stand down, and then you won't feel like it's gonna roll off of it. Daniel says I'm not much of a fan of chrome, but if I was in the market for a new bike this year, I'd make an exception for that Blue Burst and Lowrider ST. You know, I'm going to say, and we've had this talk, because I've been a chrome guy and I bought a blacked out bike this year, but I think a lot of it has to do with, for me at least, contrast. Like I loved my black Street Glide with chrome. I didn't want a blacked out bike with black paint. Um, you know, with the white bike, I like the blacked out engine. But I like that contrast between the engine and the body. And you really look at one and focus on it, and then you look at the other one that kind of frames out the picture around it. I don't know if we talked about it in the video. It's hard for me to remember who I've talked about it with, but one of the complaints people have with the Street Bob is the 3.5 gallon tank. It's got the smallest fuel tank of any Softail in the lineup. But do you know why it has such a small tank, Steve? Did we talk about this? You know why Harley leaves it that way?
I think you did, but I forget the answer.
Because they want to show off the motor. You can see the motor better and everything else with the smaller tank, and they consider the motor the crown jewel of the motorcycle, and they try and like design even so that it still draws your focus into the engine. They don't want to take away from that, and so that's a big part of why also that is still a 3.5 gallon tank. Yeah, I mean they really addressed that in the press launch and said so. So Supernatural says, "What's your opinion of the 131 RR Harley Davidson?" Well, I mean, obviously it's a very limited edition bike. It is not for everyone. I got to see it in Austin at the press event, so I'm a fanboy of Harley Davidson in general. I mean, not that I won't call them out if they do something stupid, but and a lot of people don't even realize this, but Indian already did a race replica of their Indian Challenger a year or two ago, and it was a $40,000 or $50,000 bike, 60,000, I don't remember. And for me, this is a track bike that they modified only in the ways they had to make it street legal and still provide the infotainment center and the audio. So it's got racing component suspension. It's not exactly the same suspension on the race bike because that bike's jacked a foot up. You don't want that on a regular bike, but it's the same components, just sized to be street legal and to be a more of a daily rider. And the racing components, the brakes, it's carbon fiber saddlebags, but people don't realize like it's not just any carbon fiber. It's like a carbon fiber Kevlar weave thing that they made by the same guys that make all the carbon fiber bodies for NASCAR, where they roll these cars on their hood and they don't come apart. This
Yeah.
is not cheap carbon fiber. This is designed to hold up if you're in an accident or you go down, not to just blow apart in your face. So there's a lot of things I know about this bike that a lot of people don't maybe realize or see, because I got to go to the press event and do the whole presentation on it. And I did a video on that if you want to really know what I think. But I think it's for the wealthy, but I think it's awesome. I mean, there are people that own racetracks. There's a racetrack up at Lake of the Ozarks. I would love to go to that racetrack and that guy say, okay, for $100, you could take my CVO RR around the lap one time, don't wreck it, or you bought it. And I
Right.
and I wouldn't even go nuts on it, but just to have that bike with that suspension and do a track lap. Even at
Yeah.
a mild pace, I don't care if they put a leader in front of me and I have to follow him just to, I'd give $100 to do it all, to do a lap on that bike, on a real track. I think there's potential for those kinds of things with collectors, owners of racetracks.
Yeah.
I could see somebody like Teddy Morris that owns the dealership at Daytona that has a bike museum upstairs, buying one of these to have in his bike museum up there that is in the VIP area, and you're sitting in the VIP area with $100,000 motorcycles.
Yeah.
So, and I also think it's kind of a way to say fuck you to Indian. To be honest, the Indian sold their race bike for $50,000 or whatever it was, and Harley's just selling theirs at $100,000 to say we can make 131 of them and sell them at $100,000.
Yeah, I like the move. If you think about most create, Ford, Chevy, they all have that race car. Ford's got the GT, Chevy's got the Corvette, what, 06 or whatever it is, Z6, whatever it is. I like the move. I like the fact that it's limited edition, it's handmade. Definitely, there is 131 people out there in America that can easily afford this bike, who are going to chomp at the bit to get one. If they tried to mass produce it, then I'd have a problem. I'd have to wonder what the fuck they're thinking. But no, I love the idea.
They're hand assembled.
Yeah, handmade. I heard the rotors alone are $800 a piece.
600 euros per rotor. So euros, the conversion now is closer to 1-to-1. It kind of fluctuates, but yeah, the price, I forgot what brand, but Brembo brakes, top of the line. The suspension that's on that bike is not the stuff that's in the parts and accessories catalog. It's not the Olins that you buy off the website. It's kind of specialized and stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's like the best of the best. Everything is.
So Skid says he's got a Street Bob in the garage, and it's now mostly going to be about short rides or after, and I've got a 2000 Dyna, and I love it for that same kind of reason. I mean, I'm not going to ride the 2000 Dyna to Harley Davidson's homecoming, but if we're going for an afternoon ride, I rode it a couple years ago. Well, a year ago, we did a ride for who was the last one we did, honey, where it rained all day?
Donnie.
Was that Donnie's ride when it rained all day? Yeah, yes. So we did that, and it rained, and I rode the Dyna, and it rained so hard that my turn signals didn't work for a month.
Oh, shit.
It got that wet that my turn signals wouldn't work. It got inside the control unit underneath the panel under the seat and stuff. But my Dyna is a great ripper for an afternoon, for a local ride where we're going to do 100 miles or something like that. And I mean, a 3.5 gallon tank on a Street Bob is probably still going to get you over 120 miles. And I'm not going to get much over that on my 4-gallon gas guzzling carbureted 2000 Dyna. So, and like Daniel, Travis brought up his girlfriend's got a Nightster. It's got a small tank on the seat. Daniel says his Nightster's 3.1. So there are bikes out there with smaller. They're just, you buy a bike for what the purpose is.
Yep.
Hey, Blood Wolf, thank you. Yeah, we're here. Um, if somebody asks which one to buy, I steer them toward the Lowrider S, especially with the 117 HO now. Yep. Evening, Bill. I rode the Lowrider S a lot in Austin, and I really liked it. I think I would like it personally better with forwards, but not everybody wants forwards. Firecracker's Sport Glide is going to be essentially, forward controls. We put Fat Boy floorboards on it, so she's going to have forward controls with floorboards with the ST fairing and a 107 motor with the stage one on it. So, it's not going to be quite as hoppy as a 117 now, but she doesn't really care about drag racing off the stoplight so much. But it's going to probably, with that ST fairing and stuff, make it even more tour friendly.
Oh, absolutely.
So 100 are spoken for by dealers. Those dealers still have to sell them. I know a dealer that, as of last week, still had one if anybody was looking. And then the other 31 are going to draw for the other dealers. So with stage one, Fuel Moto on his street, Bobby's getting 110 miles per tank. There's my buddy Jamie. He's got an 05 Dyna, carbureted, big cams, lope, sounds great. It's blast to ride. I think everybody should have at least 2 bikes. My wife's going to have to, buy another bike because she's only got one. She's falling back on the times here. If you were going to buy another bike, Firecracker, what would you buy? Especially now if you know you're going to have a fairinged out Sport Glide.
Don't know yet.
She needs to get a breakout.
No. I don't know until I take his old Street Glide out and ride it and see if I like it and I want to move up or not.
You easily can. I know so many gals that are smaller than you, and they ride them.
So
I'm not saying I can't. I'm not saying I can't ride it. I'm sure I can ride it. I just don't know that I want to because I know that they're heavier and, I just don't know that I want to be having to ask for help more than, because right now I just can do everything pretty much with mine. I don't have to worry about it for the most part. So we'll see.
I think once you get that fairing on there, there won't be any reason to move up, to be honest.
Well, there will be because there's going to be a point I got to get another bike.
True.
She'll wear that without her putting up miles on. So Iron Mission said he's a big fan of the SD. Do you think the S will go away because of the ST? I don't know. I mean, there are some people who don't want the ST fairing, who still want to be in the wind. I think sales will dictate that. I don't know that. I think the ST definitely has a place as the mini bagger. I've got a friend who's older. He's had a heart attack, but he travels with us. He's going to go to Sturgis with us. He rides all over. He rides more miles than I do because he's retired. And he got the Tobacco Fade Lowrider ST, and he really likes it. And I think it's a really good fit for someone in that situation, maybe that needs something a little lighter that they can still tour on. And that's kind of why she's not sure that she'll want to move up to a bigger bike. Because she may not need to after that.
I agree.
But will it lead into the S sales? Absolutely, it'll lead into them, but I don't know if it'll be enough to make them go away, especially with the 117 HO.
Yeah, the S is still a great looking bike. So, and it was one of their top sellers, if I'm not mistaken. Harley's.
We'll have to see. I think the new Softails are all really, they've done a good job on them. Jay would like to have a nicer as a second bike. They should call it the new Dyna. They can't call it the new Dyna because the Dyna bros will fucking fall down and have a cow. Give him a little time to get used to it. Billy says the Sport Glide is a badass. What a looker, awesome bike. Yeah, she's got a Sport Glide. It's about to look like an ST with Fat Boy floorboards on it. So, yeah, talking about the R, the dealer in St. Joe is getting one. Lake of the Ozarks is getting one. Pig Trail is getting one. I don't know if anybody in Kansas City's announced if they're getting one for sure or not. Have you heard, Steve?
No, but I'd be surprised if Worth doesn't get one. They're a big dealer.
Yeah. Sparky says 3 bikes: Road King, Street Glide, and his 101 Scout. I still want to ride the 101 Scout. I have not rode it yet. Christian said, Jamie said, I'd buy a Heritage if I could have a third bike. April didn't like the Heritage. She called it a grandma bike, Jamie. But she made me ride it, and I think it's kind of a sleeper.
It was one of Harley's biggest sellers for years.
Jay, she's already TOD on the title. So Firecracker needs a Road King with the ST fairing. You know, that might be an option if she really likes the ST fairing. Really? And she wanted to go up to more of a touring bike, she could go up to a Road King and still put the ST fairing on it and the audio and, do it that way.
Yeah, paint the Road King purple to match the fairing.
I don't think she'll take the ST fairing off the Sport Glide. I think she'll just start over. You want to,
when I'm ready to buy another bike, I'll just have to go riding bikes.
Jay, you want to put an ST fairing on your Road King? Is that what you're wanting to do? I'm trying to get caught up here. Advan makes them. It's a doable thing, that's for sure. We're the ST fairing we're putting on is from Advan with their kit and their headlights. So we'll see how that all works out for us, but I don't expect any problems. It's been done. Did Bates just pop champagne?
It's me fucking with a pop can. Sorry about that.
Bates doesn't drink champagne. Not unless they pour it across their boobies, and then he'll lick it up.
That I will do gladly.
All right, feel a slight connection from me in Southwest Missouri. Well, thank you. We'll have a great evening. Thank you, Skids, for stepping in and telling us about your new bike. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, congrats, buddy.
So Iron Mission's got the Tobacco Fade Limited. Had to have it when they released it last year. Yeah, my buddy's got the Tobacco Fade Lowrider ST.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, Sparky, we just been shooting the shit tonight, talking about some of the events coming up. I've been sick. We've had a tornado here. It's been kind of crazy. And so we're just kind of winging it tonight and hanging out with everybody and shooting the shit. Chase says, I've been looking at FTRs. If BMW doesn't long-term loan me an R12, haha. FTRs are dirt cheap, they say, baby. You know what the FTR is, right, guys? Steve, April, do you know what the FTR is?
I'll be honest, I was trying to figure it out.
April, do you remember that bike I rode to Scott's that he brought down here that I did the wheelie down the gravel?
That's what I was trying to think if that was it.
Yep, my friend Scott brought an FTR Indian down from Columbia, Missouri, and let me ride it. We were going down the road, and I would shift from first to second, and it'd pull the front wheel off the ground.
Oh, yeah, I always forget that that's called an FTR. Yeah, those are badass looking bikes, no doubt about it.
Just doesn't sell enough. Just not the right.
I'd rather hooligan out a Pan American, though, to be honest.
And that's probably the problem.
You need to what? You need just read your comments. You've got a list of them that you haven't read.
I'm working on it. Cruzy calls the Nightster a Dinah. I don't think many of the Dinah Bros would argue that to his face. Probably not to his face. He's gonna set the idea that it can be called a Dinah. If I said that, everybody would say I was nuts. But I'm not Cruzy. But
Yeah.
and I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying if I said it, Dinah Bros would scour. They'd put me on a stick and burn me over a spit.
I haven't met him yet, but he's pretty put together.
Thank you, Ozarks. You convinced me to go all in with HD, and now I work at a dealership and live bar and shield. Well, you're welcome. I hope that works out for you. You know, I love the brand. I don't love every single thing the brand does, and we've had me and the brand at like these press events have had that conversation. And the first time I went, I was surprised I got called, and we had to talk about it. And they're like, you you're fair. You don't always agree with what we do, but you admit that you don't have all the facts we have, and you always try and be fair, and they appreciate that. And I mean, I love the brand, and I want to see them succeed. I just don't always agree with everything they do. And then, there's a lot of things they get raked over the coals. People think the CEO made this decision or that decision, and whether I like him or don't like him, the fact is he's not involved in half those decisions. Do you think he knows what the new taillights look like before they come out? Do you think that's not at his level? His level is a whole different level. He's negotiating, and blessing deals with, Hero and other companies for partnerships in Asia and worrying about plants and expansion and cost and things like
dollars,
that.
stock prices. Ooh.
Yes, gotta get paid off my son's broken leg first, then an ST fairing. Did he recently break a leg, Jay? Did I miss something here? That didn't happen in one of those derbies, did it? Flat track racing's awesome.
Save even more.
Springfield Mile, we got to go do that. Make a hooligan out of a. So, I'm just going to throw this out there for those of you who don't know. Corey West won the hooligan race again, and he is in Eureka Springs, and he's doing something with Pig Trail where you can go and hook up with him and do like a adventure bike ride because he's into that stuff. But now probably not during race season, but Pig Trail has a post on it. Check it out if you want to go ride with a guy that rides hooligan and do some cool stuff. That would definitely be cool to go do.
It'd be cool if Jeff at the Cat House could get him to come down, hang out. Maybe if they could get a hold of one of the bikes, bring it down and show it off.
We might get a better, to be honest, because of his association with Harley. Probably have a better chance to get him coming to like the Eureka Springs or Pig Trail dealership.
Harley Davidson, yeah.
Yeah, he's with Saddleman Racing, but he's riding a Harley. So
yeah, that's true.
And so that's probably a more likely connection. Chase just needs not a 900-pound bike for around town one day.
Get a road glide. They're only 889 pounds.
No, they're down to like 838, something like that. Where's my wife going? She has got up and left the building.
She just said, screw it. I'm out.
She didn't even say why.
Damn women.
Sparky says, that's why I ride the 101 Scout more than my baggers around town. They weigh less.
Yeah.
I don't, to be honest, ride around town a lot. I really, I mean, we do some afternoon jaunts and stuff, but we live in a small town, and I just don't. I mean, if I just got to go to town for something, I take the truck. I don't even take the bike to town for small trips because that's where accidents happen. Dumb drivers in town, and so if it's not going to be an enjoyable ride, I don't even bother taking the bike for something like that. But But we live in a small town.
Yeah, I
I
get
do
out of the
ride back
city
and
as
forth
best
to
as I
work
can.
and stuff.
Well,
So, thoughts on the non-ST CVO only available with the VVT engine? Seems like this may a CVO less appealing of a used bike due to the lack of engine upgrades options. Well, I hear there are cam options now for the VVT. Harley said originally there would be upgrade options for the 121 VVT. I do think that is why the ST exists, is for people that really want the performance thing. The question is, then you don't get locking saddlebags and some of those other comfort creature stuff. I think she's looks like she's going. Is she going outside or is she coming back? She's
she's
sneaking around
coming
in the
back.
house.
Yeah. Woo. Mike, what's your take? I don't hear a lot of people
Did,
talking.
did we lose you, Firecracker?
I had to go eat a piece of string cheese because I'm starving.
Oh. I don't really know if it's going to hurt CVO sales or not with the VVT. I tell people that, like, if you aren't interested in upgrading and stuff and building a performance, like all out performance bike, then that's the VVT's a great option. If you really want to build something out, you probably are going to end up swapping that whole engine out.
Let me throw something at you, Mike. Would Harley be smart to get rid of the VVT on the regular road glides and street glides and only put them in the tour bikes, the ultras? Would that be a smart move? I don't hear much about guys liking the VVT.
No, but it's an EPA thing. That's why they're experimenting with it. We just had a motorcycle rights organization meeting last Saturday that we went to at our state level. There was a guy from the MRF out of Washington D.C. called Hardtail there, and California. Like, if you don't stay up on the legislative stuff, you're not in a motorcycle rights organization. I highly recommend you get involved in your state MRO, whether it's ABATE, FOR, whatever. Get involved with MRF at a national level and stuff. But the like California tried to get a law passed where so many bikes were going to have to be electric by a certain date. Now MRF got involved. They, it didn't pass. It didn't go through for whatever reasons, whether partially the MRF or anything else. But EPA drives a lot of this. Why the Sportster? I get comments still about why they killed the Sportster, and it's EPA. It's European regulations. It's that kind of stuff. So, and that's where the VVT kind of really comes into. And I think this is, it may sound strange, but this is early experimentations. What can we do with the VVT and get performance? And will we be able to make it comply with, EPA, or are they just going to rip it out and put a 135 in it? Chase thinks a camper's in line before another bike because she, they keep going off in the boonies with these idiots and they're tired of tents. I think somebody just called us idiots. That's kind of how I feel. Youngest son broke his leg 67 days ago in the snow. Well, while it was snowing, before the snow, not good. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Jay. That sucks.
That does.
We'll hope he has a speedy and affordable recovery, no complications. Sparky, Chase asked, what NWA stuff are you attending? I got an 05 Sporty for around town that's carved, has a soul, and so fun for hopping or errands. Yeah, I like the 2000 Dyna for that. It's got a personality. I mean, not that my 24 doesn't, with some tabs on it now in the stage one. It's getting some personality. It's getting there. I had someone miss their DFW exit on Friday and park in front of me on I-35. Thanks for the pee in my pants, dumbass. Not really. Okay. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Chase. NWA, National Wrestling, Northwest Arkansas. I think the high-powered 131 to get performance can't run the VVT. The VVT is less powerful but more stable. Yeah, I mean the VVT is like if you're not trying to go full performance bagger, you know, and you're okay with letting it adapt. And I mean, uh, to be honest, somebody like me, the VVT is probably a great option as well. I mean, let's be honest here. I got a 117 that I can hit 93 mile an hour with in third gear or faster. And I can hit 107 in fourth in no time lickety split. And then I'm hitting the speed limiter. So unless I want to change out the speed limiter, I want to do a whole ECU swap and everything else. All that bigger motor is going to do is get me there milliseconds faster. I mean, that's what we're talking about. Oh, I got there in 8 seconds instead of 9 seconds. You know, that's what we're talking about spending thousands of dollars on. And I don't do burnouts much anymore. My wife gets mad at me when I do that because she says I'm throwing away money on tires. Not that I haven't done it in recent years, but I get this look when I do it. I usually do it on the 2000 Dyna. The tires for it aren't as expensive, and it doesn't have traction control, the dick width, and stuff like that. But you know,
I'm just gonna start keeping my mouth shut on that.
Yeah, are you gonna start doing burnouts?
Nope, but you can do them all you want on your own bikes as long as you keep helping me buy this stuff for my bike.
See, yo, the 131 to stage 4 makes a 135. I just don't know how much more I want, how much faster. I mean, how much money do I want to spend to get there in 7.5 seconds instead of 9 seconds? Right now, I don't feel like it's taking too long to get to 107 mile an hour. And as long as I'm speed capped at 107 mile an hour, I kind of don't see the point in getting any crazier. Sparky says, I'm in Florida. So, Sparky, did you go to Daytona by chance? We were talking about that earlier, and if you did, we'd love to hear some comments from you. Jay's got to go. Night, Jay. Take care. Bob and Tam's in the house. We were talking about them earlier. Hey everyone, 80 degrees in Arizona today. Great working on the bike weather. I try and do that when it's cold so that I can ride when it's warm. But unfortunately, thanks to my wife and some other folks, we're doing a little last minute bike work before the riding season gets fully underway.
Maybe we'll run into old Bob and Tam at Spring Fling.
We were talking about spring events earlier. If you guys want to come on and talk about your giveaway and stuff, shoot me a message on Instagram or Facebook, and I'll get you a link, and you can get on the show and tell us all about what you guys got going on there. And talking about KST bars, I just got a message from KST. I posted a few pictures. We haven't done a video on it yet, but we're doing a teardown on my buddy's 2017 Street Glide. He's getting it painted as well. That's on my lift also. More bikes tore apart in my shop. And we're putting a set of KST 16-inch Mayhem bars on his. So I just got a message back from KST, and I got to send them payment, and they're going to send us bars. He's getting them fully pre-wired as well.
Last 3 set of bars I've bought were KSTs. Been happy with them.
VVT and Ultra makes sense for me, but forcing it on CVO customers seems like a bad move. EPA intrusion checks out, though. I don't think emissions or mileage is improved meaningful with VVT. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they are or not. I think worrying about emissions on motorcycles when they're such a small portion of the environment is crazy. I think there's bigger fish to fry, but we become an easy target because we're smaller and there's less money in fighting them. But current administration may change all that. We'll see. He was on call and unable to leave the county. We were just kind of wondering. We read that the attendance was down. Of course, there was a shooting. Some video showed a lot of like bikes getting towed and things like that. And that could just be YouTube drama. It's hard to say. We'd like to hear from somebody who was there to see what they felt like it was like. Yeah, Jamie says, I like my 117 just the way it is, plenty fast and hauls my big butt as fast as I could ever want to go. It's solid and consistent. I retired 12/31 of 2026. Won't have to be on call anymore, at least for the THI stuff. I agree the VVT will do more than I could ever desire. Just seems like an odd move to lock a CVO buyer into such an engine configuration when the buyers have money to burn. But that's the other side of the coin, though. If you do that on the CVO, those buyers have the money that if they don't like it, they'll just buy a crate engine. And there are guys that are pulling the 121 VVT out and putting a crate engine in it and doing a 131 or a 135. So those guys can afford to do that. So you're kind of like, oh, if you don't like it, well, you got the money to do what you want. Go ahead. So Bob and Tam said Daytona, first weekend record crowd, Speedway, most vendors they have seen in 5 years. Rain Wednesday and last Saturday chased a lot off. Daytona says it's down last year. Says 178,000. What I read earlier was they were down from 400,000 to 300 something thousand. But it's hard to believe that stuff. That was based off cellular data. Sparky says he's swapping his 12-inch meat hooks out for 10s, Todd's bagger bars, while having the fairing off and finally replacing my stereo as well. There's Chris, 87 Risers in the house. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Got to bounce. Got stopping in to show love. See ya.
Peace.
I'm going to check my messages in case anybody sent me a message, but it was just JS sending me a reel. Thought maybe somebody loved me.
We've been on for about an hour and a half, Mike. What do you think? About time to shut it down?
Probably so. We got to make dinner. My wife is hungry. She had to go eat some string cheese. I'm going to try and feed her a mini corn dog when we get off the air. She's already shaking her head no. Damn it. I thought maybe if I bought all that shit today, I could at least get by with that one. But looks like that's a no-go still.
Mm-hmm.
She won't even look up at me.
Nope.
I'm reading email.
Yeah, somebody just said the midget strippers were canceled.
Damn it.
Yeah, so I'm best man for a wedding at Sturgis, and they were going to have micro maidens, the dwarf dancers, at a bar 22 miles from here, and they just canceled the event.
Shit.
We were going to do that. We were going to do that as round one warm up for the bachelor party.
I like the way you think.
Baby corn dog is a good sign off. All right. Well, we'll get out of here with that. We'll let you guys all go. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We just want to kind of check in routinely, talk about stuff. We're going to maybe see if we get some guests in 2 weeks from now for Spring Fling. Maybe we can get Bob and Tam on, talk about what they're doing. Jeff from the Cat House, Kyle. Maybe we get a big old room full of people on here to talk crap about motorcycles because that's what we all love to do. Yeah. All right. Peace, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all stay safe. Keep on riding. We'll see you in the next one.